Welcome to my second win total prediction here. We're going with Boston College. And I said in my other one, if you haven't seen it, I already did Stanford. We're starting with the ACC because they're the lowest conference, and then we're starting from the lowest win total and going all the way up. I'm going to go over the guaranteed wins. I'm going to go over the guaranteed losses. I'm going to go over the remaining games. I'm going to say the whole schedule out. I'm going to say what's the most projected number, my most likely number to happen, which is most likely going to give me an over or an under on the number. And then I'm going to say whether or not I'm betting it and how much I like it overall, right? And we're going to have a betting card by the end of this. And I'll remind everyone which plays I'm betting when we add a bet to the betting card. I'll remind everyone which plays we are betting. Boston College is an over-under of 4.5. It's the tie for the second lowest here in the ACC. Bill O'Brien is now the head coach. Yes, that Bill O'Brien. That was the head coach of the Houston Texans, also the GM, famous for training away DeAndre Hopkins. Yes, he is now the head coach of Boston College. I got 2 guaranteed wins on this Boston College schedule, and that is home for Duquesne and home for Western Kentucky. Although Western Kentucky can put up a lot of points, and Boston College defense is definitely their weakness here, but I just can't pick a Group of 5 team beating a Power 4 team on the road here. So I got those as 2 guaranteed wins. 5. This team has 5 guaranteed losses. They have one of the hardest non-con schedules. Week 1, they're opening at Florida State. That's not a non-con schedule, but they're at Florida State. That's a loss. They're at Missouri week 3. That is a guaranteed loss. That's 2. They're at Virginia Tech week 8. I think Virginia Tech's going to be sneaky good, really good. They have a win total of 8.5. I think that is going to be a loss. That's 3. They're home for Louisville. I think that's a loss as well. That's 4. And then that's week 9. And then week 12, they're at SMU. I think that is also a loss. So we're 2-5. Couple games to go where it's a little bit of a toss-up. We'll see here if we can get 5 wins. Week 4, they're home for Michigan State. Now, it's a winnable game, right? It's not what you want to see. You don't want to see another Power 4 team on your non-con schedule, especially a Big Ten team. But you are getting one of the weaker Big Ten teams in Michigan State. I just can't pick Boston College to win this game. Although it is a winnable game, I wouldn't be shocked if they won this game, but I'm going to take it as a loss here. So they're 2-6. At Virginia. Week 6, they're at Virginia. Winnable game, obviously, but this is the game where Virginia's going to be like, we got to go out and get this one. And I think Virginia does go out and get it. And I give Boston College a loss here by the slimmest of margins. That makes them 2-7 here. Home for Syracuse. I think they get that one. They probably split those 2 games. At Virginia, home for Syracuse. This is week 11. They probably go 1-1 there, which makes them 3-7. I think they go 1-1 in that clip. I can't see them winning both those games. I don't think anyone out there can see them winning both those games. I just can't see it. And then to close out the season, week 13 and week 14, North Carolina is at Boston College, and Pitt is at Boston College. They would have to win both of those games to go over this number. I just can't see it. I think Pitt is a lot better than some people think, and I think North Carolina is one of the biggest question marks in all the ACC. Like, they could be really good or they could be really, really bad. Obviously, as they lost Drake May, they lost a lot of production. But ultimately, that gives us a 4-8. And I think that is the most likely number at 4-8. If we go over the schedule from top to bottom, I have a loss at Florida State week 1. Win home for Duquesne, they win that, they're at 1. At Missouri is a loss, they're 1-2. Home for Michigan State week 4, I think that is a loss. Home for Western Kentucky week 5, I think that is a win, that's 2. At Virginia, again, I think here I have as a loss just as home, but I think they split that game in the Syracuse game, but for this sake, we'll say it's a loss. At Virginia Tech is a loss. Home for Louisville week 9 is a loss. Bye week 10. Home for Syracuse week 11, I have it as a win, especially off the bye, so that is 3. At SMU, I have a loss. Home for North Carolina, at the moment, I have as a loss. I think that's just a sneaky one that North Carolina is going to win. And then home for Pitt, I have as their 4th one, but I think they split those last 2, which ultimately makes them 4-8. I lean under on Boston College. I'm not betting it just because I think 5-7 is more likely than 3-9 for Boston College. But for the sake of the show, I am taking the under on 4.5 for Boston College. I'm Joshua C.